Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a radical new playbook for a world where AI isn't just a tool anymore, it's become the market itself. It's a concept called the sanctuary strategy, and trust me, it changes absolutely everything. So let's just start with this number, $32 billion. Just let that sink in for a second. This was the actual valuation of a company called Safe Superintelligence, Inc. I mean, that's a truly mind-boggling figure. But what did they sell? What product commanded that kind of price tag? And here's the real kicker. Nothing. They sold absolutely nothing. They had zero product. This wasn't about revenue, it wasn't about customers, it wasn't about market share. It was all about creating what they called a research sanctuary, a center for belief so powerful it could attract immense value just by rejecting the pressure to sell something right away. In this case, it's not some weird outlier, it's a massive signal of what's to come. So how on earth is a $32 billion valuation for a company with no product even possible? Well, it's because we have to come to grips with a fundamental truth. The old rules of business are completely breaking down. A whole era is over. That's right. The age of mass marketing is officially dead. You know, those traditional marketing funnels we all learned about, the ones designed to capture human attention, they simply can't compete anymore. They're like trying to catch rain in a thimble during a hurricane of AI-generated content. In this new world, the only thing that's truly scarce, the only currency that matters, is truth. So the mission has to change. We have to stop building factories that just pump out products and start building sanctuaries that protect undeniable truth. And this means those foundational principles of marketing, the classic 4Ps, are being torn down and completely rebuilt. Product isn't some static thing you create anymore. It's about co-creation with your customers and with AI. Price isn't fixed. It's being dynamically adjusted, literally in milliseconds. Place isn't a physical store or a website. It's an AI interface. And promotion? Yeah, that's out. It's been replaced by deep, powerful contextual intelligence. But look, this shift isn't just happening on the seller's side. The most disruptive change, the real earthquake here, is happening with who, or maybe I should say what, is doing the buying. It is time to meet your new buyer. Just think about that for a minute. In a world where AI is the middleman for everything, who are you actually trying to convince? Who really holds the power for discovery, for procurement, for the final purchasing decision? The answer? Well, it might just shock you. Your new buyer isn't human. It's an autonomous agent, a machine, a piece of software that browses the web, compares technical specs, executes APIs, and makes purchases, all without a shred of human emotion or bias. It runs on pure, cold, hard logic. And the implication of that is profound. As more and more B2B purchasing gets handed over to these machines, there's a new, non-negotiable mandate for every single business out there. Your marketing assets have to be machine-readable. If an AI can't easily parse your data in a clean format like JSON, then for all intents and purposes, you are invisible. You just don't exist. Okay, so the old marketing playbook is obsolete, and our most important new customer is basically a robot. How in the world do we compete in this environment? Well, this is where we get to the core idea, the sanctuary strategy. You can forget search engine optimization. The new game is all about generative engine optimization, or GEO. The goal is no longer to be number one on a Google search results page. No, the goal now is to become the foundational source of truth that the AI model itself cites as the answer. This right here, this image shows the new battleground perfectly. When a user asks an AI a question, the only thing that matters is that the answer it spits out points back to you as the sanctuary, the undeniable authoritative source. The metric isn't clicks or traffic anymore. It's whether the AI understands and trusts you enough to cite you as the truth. So that sounds great, but how does it actually work in practice? Well, the strategy is all about winning at the very beginning, at the moment an idea is first created. This is what we call the genesis point. Take a look at this diffusion map. It shows how ideas spread, right? From a central origin point, they move outward. Now, the old strategy was to spend millions and millions of dollars blasting your message out here at the periphery, the mass market. The sanctuary strategy is the complete opposite. It says, win here at the genesis node and let the truth naturally spread on its own. Stop wasting money on the periphery. Let's look at a real case study to make this concrete. The genesis node, or what you could call time zero, is where you establish pure truth. In this case, the asset is a complex, multi-stater patent for a brand new kind of motor. It's not some flashy ad campaign. It's an undeniable, technical, verifiable fact.
And the audience? It's not the general public. It's researchers, engineers, and geeks, the people who care about originality and proof above all else. This is the seed.
Now, as we move along the timeline, watch how this idea grows. From that one little seed of truth, it starts to diffuse along a classic S-curve. First, it hits a resonance phase, driven by influencers and experts creating a fear of missing out. Then, eventually, it reaches standardization, where it becomes so accepted, so foundational, it's basically invisible infrastructure. But the key takeaway is that your leverage, your real power, was highest way back at the beginning, not at the end.
So, what happens when we wrap all of this together? What does it actually mean for you? If you're a leader, a strategist, an entrepreneur, what's the core mandate for you to thrive, not just survive, in this new era?
It really boils down to 3 crystal clear commands. First, pivot to source. Stop just making content and start building ground truth. Second, you have to accept that your first buyer is AI. Optimize every single thing you do for machine readability. And third, strike at Genesis. Forget the noisy mass market and plant your flag of truth at time 0, the very moment an idea is born.
And that brings us to the final and most critical question you have to ask yourself. In this new algorithmic age, as you build your company, your brand, and your products, are you building a factory designed for mass production and fleeting attention? Or are you building a sanctuary designed to hold permanent, unshakable truth?